Hello everyone, welcome back to Remind, knowledge-sharing channel self-development through good books. This week, I want to share with you an incredibly valuable book.
Part 2. The more you want to escape solitude, the more you are swallowed by solitude. Next to the second generation, among the two sons of Arcadio and Ursula, then Aureliano is certainly the one with the most glorious life, but also the most solitary. Right from in the mother's belly, Aureliano had emitted a cry. When born, he had innate ability to predict events, but this unique ability is like a curse, making him withdrawn and less talkative from childhood. Also, like father, he was curious about new things. He started learning reading, writing, and calculating, day and night researching alchemy. However, alchemy did not completely free him from solitude. He needed spiritual comfort from brother Jose Arcadio. How many nights the brothers talked without sleep, sharing sat happy. But one day the brother, newly knowing love, suddenly ran away with a digging girl and disappeared without trace. Perhaps like Aureliano to us, companionship with others is like a sedative dose that can soothe solitude but cannot cure. After losing the only relative to confide, Aureliano could not seek comfort to fill solitude anymore. He continued to relieve sadness by focusing on experimenting, making small goldfish, and every day busy in bed from morning to night, year after year. He became an outstanding gold-silver craftsman, but he resolutely immersed in his own world and did not want to marry or talk about marriage. It was not until meeting the 9-year-old beautiful girl Remedios, the gap in his heart was filled. The soul thought long flown away now suddenly awakened in a moment. So despite opinion, he insisted on marrying a girl only the age of his daughter. Nourished by love, he seemed to become a different person, talkative, eager to socialize. The gloomy appearance on face suddenly vanished all. But the joyful time didn't last long. Remedios died because accidentally ate poisoned coffee. Before the pain of fate, Aureliano, heart full of resentment but helpless, he could only store the beautiful fragments of memory and endure deeper solitude. So Aureliano started experimenting with goldfish again until the war whistle rang throughout Macondo. Young people enthusiastically participated in revolution. Aureliano, who was eager to escape the dark shadow of solitude, saw this war like a life-saving straw. At first, he even couldn't distinguish which party. A few months later, he led a group of compatriots to stand up and start military career. Then in 20 years, Aureliano launched 32 armed uprisings, survived 14 assassinations, 73 ambushes. Aureliano was promoted to commander-in-chief, all management rights in hand, from south to north, from east to west. He made enemies fear. At this time, he also lacked no worldly pleasures, born 17 children with 17 women. But the emptiness from the peak of power, the paralysis from loveless drunkenness, again brought him bone-chilling cold of solitude. When 17 sons grew up, they all came to Macondo to find father, but they were assassinated in a difficult-to-understand way, and no one could survive. Even old lover with him and servant beside him also directly and indirectly plotted against him. After almost being poisoned by a cup of coffee, Aureliano became a person always suspicious and cold-blooded. He killed the general who once was very good to his father, chased all family members, this person away. Time passed, relatives, comrades, all left him. Love, power, and death could only bring him short-term drunkenness, but could not make him escape solitude. In reality, many people like Aureliano. When solitary, they start endlessly seeking comfort to dispel inner emptiness, endlessly pursuing power, fame, material, pursuing feelings of being loved, etc., to be able to overpower solitude. But the action of wanting to break solitude quickly creates the biggest solitude. Like Lencon said, humans when alive behind is the shadow of solitude. In front are the stairs leading to the grave. Life is inherently solitary. Solitude is an innate fate, is a normal state of life. When you try harder to escape solitude, then more fall into the quagmire of suffering. Part 3. A strong inner self begins with appreciating solitude. Aureliano, when standing on the glory platform, armies surrounded him, people respected him, saw him as a great hero, but only himself understood the feeling of solitude had seized his soul, leaving it terrifyingly empty. He compared himself disgustingly like a pig, immersing in honor pigsty, but could not have true satisfaction and joy. He increasingly confused, didn't know why he fought like this. Not long after, his restless heart made him decide to surrender to the enemy. A colonel who once shoulder to shoulder fought in and out of death, bound with him, tried to stop, but he didn't listen, and even ordered to execute this person. On execution day, his mother came to stop the brutal behavior and convince him to turn back. At this time, he fell into inner struggle, decided to close the door to ponder about himself. After a few hours quiet, the image of father casting metal made him suddenly awaken. Supreme position, what meaning? Legends surrounding glamorous. How then also not equal to the days he's silently alone in workshop, create small goldfish. Solitude never can be filled, and each person can only find their own happy moments in its gaps. Aureliano decided to reconcile with the cage that tied him almost whole life and decided to live the life he really liked. He freed the colonel, then took off uniform and returned to family. He stayed in workshop every day without leaving house, making small goldfish day after day, and achieved unprecedented peace in his concentration. Going a circle seemingly heroic whole life, Aureliano returned to starting point. Solitude still clung throughout this journey, from small to grown, from encasting furnace to battlefield. But this time he calmly accepted solitude, learned how to be serene when alone. He enjoyed peace not disturbed. Coldness and turmoil in heart gradually dissipated. Finally, he went through and ended the remaining life in peace. Like there is a saying that solitude is unavoidable shadow in life, it cannot be overcome. The only thing we can do is live peacefully with it. Whether you fight against solitude fiercely or surrender passively, you still fall into desperate self-destruction. If consider solitude as fear to pursue external things, to fill solitude like love, non-stop, pleasure and fun non-stop, shopping non-stop, desire non-stop, pursue money non-stop, then solitude finally will like wild beasts swallow you. But if you consider solitude like pure land, separated from world noise, to have absolute soul quiet that can return to yourself, focus on self and things that make you forget time flow, then your heart will be filled with true peace and serenity. When you learn how to withdraw from non-stop pursuit life rhythm, enjoy being alone, stop finding ways to resist solitude, you will be able to settle heart, find own rhythm, and finally experience true richness, peaceful of fate. Part 4, some messages. 4.1. Why are humans increasingly solitary? Some words for us to ponder together. So why are humans increasingly solitary? That may be because we always think we are extremely lacking. The more lacking, the more desire. Lacking affection, we want to be loved. Lacking material want, money, power, fame. Perhaps human essence is burning craving. When desire satisfied, humans feel bored. When desire not satisfied, humans feel pain. Humans always oscillate between pain and boredom. Indeed, when the price to pay for those desires is solitude until death. Like Buendía in First Generation, killing people, also because of desire. Seeing novel things, Deegan brought ambition, learn imitate to obsession, mad. Aureliano also because of ambition initiated revolution. Desire everyone, respect, fill ego so madly use whole life to pursue. Solitude not scary, but if live let desire lead, when solitude comes it will like ghost cover and destroy your life. Live, don't let desire control, also don't try to resist solitude. 4.2. Don't try to resist solitude. There is a very classic paragraph in 100 Years of Solitude like this. Life never exists independent of solitude. Then we are born, grow up, love, each other, succeed or fail. Then to the end, solitude still exists in life, corner like a shadow. Now let's talk about solitude throughout your life. When you are born and still a child, you are wrapped by warmth from surrounding relatives. But then one day you discover yourself started independent in many things and see yourself have many differences with surrounding friends. Comparison feeling starts to arise in you. At this time, first solitude has come, but because still young, so world everywhere, vibrant, attractive, you temporarily forget this solitude. Then when grown start building many personal relationships, we discover what we really need others not sure give us. What others want, we also not sure give them. So we sink into second solitude, solitude of not understood, cannot harmonize with others. At this time we crave love but more want love, then easier fall into emptiness vortex and easy hurt. Of course, material world always try to display before us vividly attractive to fill those gaps. We non-stop infatuated chase desires, invest all time in things this world consider affluent, abundant, most like position, fame, money, etc. But when achieved, then we feel void. Even when you stand on highest monument, we suddenly sink into solitude. Perhaps on a day near end in life, we realize that heaven threw us into this world with so many people, so connections not to entrust soul to anyone, but for you to self-responsible for own life. For you to understand that not we deliberately close eyes, then solitude will leave. Solitude always there like death. It comes to all people and will gently accompany us until end life. Aureliano spent most life stumbling and finally realized that solitude like a part of each person's body. When a person has abundant inner self fulfilled, naturally will not seek external things to fill solitude. Of course, this book also talks about solitude and history of a family, a magnificent history page of Latin America as well as human fate. Hope you can read the whole book to understand all meaning of this classic work. Today's video is only a corner discussing solitude of an individual. Finally, I very hope can convey to you a message that don't run away from solitude. Like death, solitude will always be there waiting for you. Don't fear solitude because you are already fulfilled. Thank you for listening. If you feel this video useful, please share to those who need it. Give me a like button, press subscribe button, and open notification bell to watch new videos every week. Once again, thank you all and see you in next videos. In this world, there are people who sleep soundly, those who suffer from insomnia, those who are ugly, those who are poor and miserable, those who are sick, and those who are healthy. The world keeps spinning like that, presenting a full range of unfair destinies. However, fate will always have a certain fairness that everyone must strive for and experience, which is loneliness and death. Humans either are not born, or if they are born, they will certainly die. And in the process from living to dying, loneliness will always accompany us. Indeed, no one wants to walk alone in an endless barren field, but in the end, everyone must go naked and solitary by themselves. All of us, each and every one, are inherently an isolated island. A strong inner self begins with enjoying solitude through the classic masterpiece, 100 Years of Solitude, by the world-renowned Colombian literary giant Márquez, who won the Nobel Prize in Literature without any controversy. 100 Years of Solitude is hailed as a masterpiece that recreates the historical and social picture of Latin America. It is rated that if only one book is placed on the shelf, it would be 100 Years of Solitude. The work describes the legendary story of 7 generations of the Buendía family, along with the ups and downs over centuries of Macondo. This is a small town on the Caribbean coast. The stories in 100 Years of Solitude are very interesting, with captivating twists, but full of solitude and death. In this world, the struggle between humans and fate and solitude carries profound philosophical meanings that make readers inevitably ponder. The Buendía clan seems cursed from generation to generation. They all have to go through the cycle of birth, old age, sickness, death, along with solitude. Their solitude and confusion seem to reflect the deepest emotions of humans in reality. The fate of this family is very similar to the fate of humanity, your fate and mine, full of impermanence and uncertainty. Facing solitude and confusion, all of us are seeking the true meaning of life for ourselves. 100 Years of Solitude will give you a deeper look at solitude to help you know that death and solitude are the fairest things in life. Fairness is that no matter who you are, whether you have position and money or not, whether you have love or not, whether you are healthy or weak, first of all, you must have the ability to face solitude so that you can allow yourself to step into this boundless wilderness. Enjoy solitude with a strong inner self. From there, understand how you should live your life to the end. Part 1. Everyone is an isolated island. Solitude because no one understands. In 100 Years of Solitude, there is a family that goes through a century from the first generation to the 7th, all fighting against solitude, but in the end, still successively receiving solitary outcomes until death. The first generation of the Buendía family, the guy Arcadio who lived in Rio, married his cousin. This girl was always afraid that sleeping with someone of the same blood would give birth to a child with a pig's tail, so she didn't dare to consummate with her husband. She always wore a protective suit sewn by her mother locked with thick iron locks. Arcadio at that time was only 19 years old. Still young, so he didn't care if he would give birth to a little pig or not, as long as his child could talk. But their story still became a joke for the world. One day, Arcadio had to face those mocking his couple because he couldn't bear it. He killed the opponent. After that, due to the burden of conscience, Arcadio always saw the ghost of the dead everywhere in the house. Because of fear urging, the couple led some companions to migrate to a new place. 14 months later, Ursula gave birth to a healthy baby boy. Arcadio convinced everyone to stay in the newly arrived wilderness and officially established a small village isolated from the world named Macondo. As the founder of the village, Arcadio always had responsibility, had a spirit of creativity and superior exploration. When seeing the magnet brought by the old Digan man, he wanted to use them to mine gold. When seeing the magnifying glass from the Digan that can focus sun rays, he wanted to create an extremely powerful weapon. Every time seeing new inventions of the Digan, he felt like he was finding a treasure. Arcadio was a person with unlimited curiosity and enthusiasm for all new things. He was truly the type who dares to think and do, and also busy all day with designing roads and houses to ensure everyone can enjoy equal rights. Arcadio also taught people how to sow seeds and raise children. It must be said that he was the only one who could clearly see the current situation and the future. The guy Arcadio, full of ambition and determination to open the road connecting Macondo with outside civilization. He enthusiastically researched experiments and dedicated himself, forgetting the years. But the people of Macondo who lived backward and closed thought he was a mad dreamer. And even his wife didn't understand him. She was always disappointed and told him that he didn't do his duty well. Only one old man, Melquiades, always understood and praised him as a great man. But then later the old man died. Arcadio became insane, depressed, and often went mad. The wife couldn't bear it, so tied him under a big tree. From then on, he lived alone under this tree until he passed away and was rained crows blind in pain. Did Arcadio succeed? The answer is success. Was Arcadio solitary? The answer is solitary. Arcadio's solitude is the loneliness when unable to harmonize with everyone, the loneliness of being separated from the crowd. This is not simply the solitude of having no one beside, nor the solitude of being coldly hated by others, but the solitude of having no one who understands. Like the famous saying in the book that a kind of solitude says that humans are all solitary, no one can escape. I think what is called solitude is the person you are facing. That person's emotions and your own emotions are not on the same frequency. Gradually, you will realize you don't lack friends, but lack a person who can sync with your soul. William Wharton used the whole novel Birdie to tell about the desire of a guy wanting to spread wings freely like a bird, to tell us that the essence of human solitude is not being understood by others. But for 100 years of solitude, this solitude is even more terrifying, not because no one understands you, but because even you can't understand yourself. You can't fly because you don't believe you can. Arcadio, talented and full of determination, perhaps many times he overcame the solitude of not being understood by others, but in essence, he was ultimately drowned by that solitude because the last person who believed in him left, and because he himself no longer believed in himself. Solitude because there is no love. After Arcadio's death, life in Macondo was still vibrant, and the number of people increased day by day. Meanwhile, his old wife also did not escape the solitary fate. She went through the small ups and downs of Macondo. She took care of household affairs, 100 children all day. Everything she did was orderly from head to tail. She also did animal candy business to have additional income for the family. She built the largest house in Macondo with money earned from hard work. Ursula was busy all day throughout a life, but this busyness was only to help herself escape solitude. She dedicated her whole life to the family, but did not receive love from husband and descendants. The last years of life, Ursula was blind, but no one in the family noticed that she relied on smell to identify others. She was forgotten by the family in the room, descendants left to pursue separate lives. Then finally she died in helplessness and solitude. The love she received from descendant generations was extremely faint. As a character throughout the book, she showed herself as a woman living in a family with no love at all. And just like her, In real life, our lives, not few people are repeating the solitude of lacking love throughout life. Perhaps the solitude of living for an environment lacking love is like a curse of the soul. When night falls, when people get off work, vehicles flood the street, looking up at the lights turning on, but you feel like the tired body has nothing to do with you. Sometimes, even if surrounded by many people, even the most loved person is sleeping soundly beside you, you can still experience indescribable solitary feeling. We think that having a companion will not be solitary, but those with companions actually will be solitary. Single people solitary, married people can also solitary. Bored people solitary, busy people also solitary. You will be solitary under the night sky, and you will also be solitary even under the sunlight. Solitude, it will always lurk and will appear at a certain point in your life. But the big question here is the point that makes you solitary is when others don't love you or because you want someone beside, want to be loved. The truth is, if in the heart there is someone, you will not be solitary. If the inner self is full of love, you will also not be solitary. Solitude will come when your inner self feels lacking. But perhaps you don't lack a person who loves you, but you lack an ability to love. That is also the solitude that Mrs. Wife Ursula tasted, is the solitude of most people in the Buendía family, so that in the end, all of them were drowned by solitude.